Hey guys, we're here with our week 4 game and we're taking on Iron Boffin, and we have a lot of team changes this week. I'm gonna keep it really brief, but obviously like and subscribe if you want to see more draft content like this. And as far as the changes go, there are too many to go over, and I forgot to record a separate draft analysis. So obviously, we're just gonna show it on screen here. This is the before, and obviously this is what we have now for our team. We dropped a lot of mons, such as, unfortunately, the bus, beep beep, you will be missed, as well as Enemeris, and we picked up some pretty decent options. Most of them are actually coming to this game against Boffin. Of course, obviously, this should be a pretty tough matchup, but I think that a lot of these free agents actually do help with the playability of the team. I wasn't feeling the most comfortable with the team before, but the team now I actually do think should have a lot of merit. And starting off, of course, we have none other than Heatran, who's going to be rocking out with a Will-O-Wisp Earth Power, Flamethrower, and Stealth Rock moveset. This is a defensive Heatran with Earth Power, mostly meant to check mons like Garchomp, and at least put a little bit of pressure on Swampert and how it plays, though it's mostly meant to be a Garchomp check to try and burn it, and we can obviously get up hazards into Boffin, which are very good outside of the Boots mons, and it should be a lot of good scouting for things like Zapdos that could be Scarf, Entei that could be Boots, and also just any sort of band or Scarf set technically, but probably banned, etc, etc. So it should be great for that. Heatran's typing overall is just really good into this matchup, and I think it should be a pretty good powerhouse here. Next up, we have one of our many new mons being Goro, our Lycanroc Midnight, who's going to be rocking out with a loaded Dice Technician moveset with Rock Blast to Cell Rock, Play Off, and Close Combat. This Lycanroc, I should say, is just meant to tie my opponent's Ogerpon Cornerstone. It should be a very powerful option offensively. It's great for things like Zapdos, Garchomp, etc. And the coverage is really hard to resist. I think Swampert will be a little bit annoying for this, but outside of Swampert, I think we'll actually be able to deal a ton of damage thanks to the Technician of Cell Rock and Rock Blast, just dealing so much into Boffin. It's really a great cleaner for us, and I do expect some decent work out of Lycanroc this game. Up next, we have another new Pokemon being Mona, our Hatterene, who's going to be a pretty decent Prankster support option with Prankster Calm Mind. We have Psychic Noise as well to deter a lot of the leftovers, as a lot of Boffin's mons can have it, but it's also good for any random recovery stuff that might come up. And finally, we have Draining Kiss here just to get a little bit of health back ourselves outside of just our leftovers. I ran in this max Fizz Def at the very least to try and take more advantage of the Calm Mind, and I also wanted to go with as low HP as possible to try and make sure that our Pain Splits are getting back as much health as possible, while still leaning very heavily into our special attack here because Hatterene's coverage is phenomenal into Boffin's team. The worst Pokemon that it hits offensively is probably the Espeon, because everything else is either neutral with both stabs, or it's at least super effective with one of the stabs, whereas Espeon, I guess, is somehow one of the better switch-ins outside of like an AV Swampert or like a really bulky Entei. So I anticipate that Mona here is going to be making a fantastic debut this week. Up next, we have Lynette, our Meowscarada here, who's going to be rocking out with the heavy-duty Boots Sword of Ruin set. We're rocking out with 4 attacks here with Knockoff, Axle, Flower Trick, and Low Kick. Pretty standard for us. I know we've been running this set a couple times now with Meowscarada, but it should deal a lot. Low Kick is great here, especially into the Cornerstone. It should be phenomenal. Triple Axle will plow through that Zapdos, and the Dual Stab is great into most of the other Pokemon. I think something like a bulky Entei would probably be the hardest for this to take on, but I do anticipate Entei to be more offensive anyway, or if it is bulky, to try and skew more towards being a Hatterene check. So I think Meow is going to go to town here. I fully anticipate it to be a really strong win con, but we'll kind of have to see how the game plays out. I don't see a lot on preview that Boffin should have for this, so hopefully it'll do well. Up next, we have one and only DONDOZO this week, who is another one of our new pickups. DONDOZO, unfortunately, I did not realize this in prep until the game literally came up, and you'll notice when it happens. But I ended up bringing Yawn this week. Now, sleep moves are banned in the SPL. I will say, the way this plays out, and it'll make sense later on, the turn does not seem to matter for better or worse. That said, though, yeah, Yawn DONDOZO, not my brightest moment to have shown that I can read the rules. I probably don't even really know what I would have thrown on over this. Probably Curse, I guess. Not really any other better move I could throw on outside of maybe like Crunch for like a Levitate Rotom. But I mean, really, there's not a lot of moves that I would need because Avalanche Liquidation just hits the team really well anyway, and Rest is really good for Sustain. Now, Rotom is Hadron Engine, so that could maybe come up, and it might force some awkward rest turns, but at the same time, though, as long as I can keep this thing healthy, it really shouldn't matter. The Avalanche and Liquidation just hit really well anyway, and Tablets of Ruin makes this into a fantastic Garchomp check. So as long as I can really check Garchomp with this and Entei, I should be pretty good. And finally, we have none other than Great Tusk here, who's going to be a very powerful option for us overall. Now, this is a Water Absorb Great Tusk. I mostly ran that to check the Swampert a bit more, since we can at least get some decent Rapid Spin on Swampert, which should be great because it's going to be the Hazard Setter here. However, it should also be a really good momentum killer for Flip Turn sets specifically, so we could try and hurt the Regen Pert a little bit more this way. That said, though, the Rotom, if it does end up coming to the game, means that I have a little bit harder of a time clicking CC. Though I don't think it'll be the biggest issue, because of the fact that my opponent obviously does have the Zapdos. It's not the most clickable move anyway. Though specifically, it could be an issue because we got a Choice Banded. I think in hindsight, Scrappy might have been the better bring. Spoilers, Boffin actually does end up bringing Rotom to the game, so maybe that was the better bring in overall hindsight, but I still stand by the Swampert check with Great Tusk. Having the ability to remove hazards into Boffin is really nice, but we'll kind of just have to see. With that said, though, that's going to be our team for this week, and let's get right into the battles. All right, and we're here. We're looking at Shuckle's team, obviously. Well, not Shuckle's team, sorry. I looked at the doc, and I saw Shuckle Premier League, and I was thinking, oh, Shuckle's team. But no, we don't play Shuckle this week. I think it's next week's game, actually. Looking at Boffin's team, though, we do see that it is Zapdos, Weezing Galar, Entei, Swampert, Ogerpon, Cornerstone, and Rotom. So the Rotom came, actually, kind of surprising. I didn't bring Scrappy on my Tusk, so this will be a bit more annoying than it had to be, but it's still not too bad. The Tusk is still really good here, thankfully. We can put up a lot of pressure with it. Obviously, Boffin won't know right away that we're banded, so it works out well. And no Garchomp is great. No, Garchomp is actually fantastic for me. That works out really well, because I almost brought a very different team with that in mind. I'm leading off with Lycanroc. There's not a Mon that actually outruns it here, outside of Scarfers, I guess. And that Technician loaded dice is gonna hurt. It is going to hurt like a truck. I could also lead off with Lynette, but the issue with Lynette being is I think there's better switch-ins to that. The only real switch into this is Swampert. And with Swampert, I think I pivot around it a lot better than I would pivot around... well, I guess Weezing would be really easy to pivot around too. But I don't want to give up free T-Spike opportunities, really, is the big thing. So we'll go with this. We'll go with this. Let's see. We're gonna see Weezing Galar lead. Okay, this is good. This is really good, actually. Because what I can do now is I can go for that Technician loaded dice Rock Blast, and it's gonna deal a pretty hefty amount to this. We're gonna see T-Spike, so it is the Prankster Weezing this week. That is perfectly fine. We've revealed Prankster now. That is great. And then, yep, we're gonna see Rock Blast pop off. It does not bad damage. This is actually a decent 2-hit KO. I mean, obviously, you know, we have to deal with, like, Wisp potentially, but we can always dodge Wisp. And not only that, I can always switch into Heatran on this. We've gotten a decent amount of chip already, and thankfully we do have Boots on Meow, which is important because I would argue that Meow is our win con. So that works out really well. So, yeah, we're going to go right into... I could also go into Tusk, but I feel like there's a good chance the thing just clicks a Fairy move. I'd rather just go into Heatran if we're being honest. I'm trying to think of what would actually stop Heatran right now. Honestly, Heatran could just come in. Yeah, it could just go... You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go for Heatran, and then I'm gonna double back into Lycanroc, I think is my play. Because then I can get off another Rock Blast really freely. Because I'm gonna guarantee that Zapdos will come in on Heatran. It is a really good switch-in. And obviously I can play around that pretty comfortably. If it's not Zapdos... Well, actually, Zapdos or Swampert could both come in. So maybe I don't go hard into Lycanroc. Maybe I just go for Rocks. Rocks will be decent chip, if nothing else. So, yeah, we'll just go for Rocks. I'm going to guess that the Zapdos does come in here. I'd be really shocked if it didn't. Because Primordial C on Zapdos is really, really good in my team. And it's a great wall for Heatran. So, we'll go for this. I can't even Wisp it, actually, because of the Primordial C. It was a big reason why I almost brought Desolate Land. But I knew I'd be in, like, this specific position. So I didn't want to necessarily do that. Though, Desolate Land does also, to be fair, warrant that maybe Zapdos does have no guard, because then it would make sure that even if I got weather advantage, that Boffin could still go for stuff. So it's a very... We'll just see. I need Zapdos to switch in, though, before I feel confident going for plays like Wisp or Flamethrower, and I think it'll open up a lot later on. We're going to see the withdraw here. I'm going to be pretty confident that it is going to be the Zapdos. No, it's Swampert. Okay. So I can just go into Tusk, actually. Tusk is really free now. And I mean, I'll have to take T-Spike on Tusk, but I'm okay with that. I'd just rather not let Boffin get up momentum. If Boffin's gonna go for Rocks, cool. I don't really mind that. I can go for Rapid Spin. Embedded Spin will still do a lot. I mean, obviously Rotom can come in, but... I mean, if Chase clicks Flip Turn here... if Boffin clicks Flip Turn here... I'm looking at my room and it says Seabat's place. I'm thinking Chase. If Boffin clicks Flip Turn here, I think I have to predict around Rotom coming in. Otherwise, though, if Boffin clicks Rocks, I'm gonna click Rapid Spin. Knockoff. Okay, Knockoff is fine, actually. This actually helps a lot with my Tusk matchup because I didn't bring Scrappy. This actually opens up so much. Because now I would argue my play is always to click Rapid Spin here. because even if Boffin does switch around this, that's fine. I don't really mind. And with Boffin getting up T-Spikes too, I mean, that Weezing can't even burn us properly, so that actually also helps a lot with my Lycanroc and my Great Tusk damage. So if it is Wisp, I mean, we've now gotten a lot better of a matchup, actually, I would argue, out of this. The T-Spikes will be annoying for Dozo, for sure, and also for Hatterene, though Hatterene could play around it with some prankster stuff. But it makes those mons a little bit more difficult, but I can work around that. We're gonna see a withdraw here. I'm gonna hope it's not the Rotom, because I would like to remove Ban LH. That is the Zapdos. Okay, perfect. That's fine. We see it's no guard too, which is interesting. That is very interesting. So we've now gotten rid of the hazards and we've gotten our speed boost. That is perfect. That's actually really good. Because knowing that this is obviously going to be a no guard Zapdos, my play around it is very differently. For now, I'm gonna go in Heatran because into this team, if we're being honest, Heatran is not that important outside of getting a Brox, which we have already done. So I'm okay with it. And thankfully, Boffin does not have removal outside of, I believe, Galar Weezing, which it has already revealed T-Spikes, which is perfectly fine. We've seen knockoff from Swampert. We've seen T-Spikes. We've seen that Zapdos has Hurricane, which is actually, that does a lot of damage. Well, a lot of damage to a Heatran that is rather bulky. Seeing that this is no guard though, I can actually just go for a Will-O-Wisp for free. Entei's not coming in, and if Entei does come in, I can go for, obviously, Retard. This Zap Cannon. Okay, Zap Cannon's interesting. I'm fine with that. That's fine. We know it's not Scarf at least. And I can bring in Lycanroc for free now, which is actually very okay. I could keep this as a Wisp pivot in theory, but I don't know if I need to. I think I would honestly rather just... I think I'd rather just go for the... I mean, okay, so it looks like that Boffin's actually staying in. I'd rather just go for Flamethrower at that point. I don't even need to predict. If Boffin's not switching into physical attack here, there's no point. Okay, cool. Zap just claims a kill. That's fine. Okay, we're gonna go into our Lycanroc here. Because even if the Weezing or the Swampert come in, that's perfectly fine. I do have switch-ins to both, obviously, so I'm not too concerned with that. We're gonna just go for a Rock Blast again, because this is still decent damage. Oh, we've also seen the Swamperts regen, because obviously, again, no weather got set off. So we've gotten most of Boffin's abilities, because thankfully a lot of them are very telegraphed. So this works really decently in our favor. We're gonna see that Zapdos does switch out here, perfectly fine. And we're gonna see if Swampert comes in. Okay, Swampert's still gonna take a fair bit. Obviously I'm in Rock Chip for 1, which will be not bad. We do at least reveal it's not Boots, which is huge. But Rock Blast, I mean, that's still not terrible damage at least. I'm kind of wishing I brought Trailblaze for this, but I had Meowth, so I'm not as concerned. We're gonna see 4 hits. 4 hits is decent. Okay. So I think I just go into... I think I just go hard into Meow here. I don't think I've given my opponent any reason to think that Meow isn't... Like, that Meow is gonna switch in right now. But we switched in Tusk last time. So I think I think we've revealed at least Flip Turn. Well, actually, no, because maybe then the play is to hit Tusk with an Ice move. Or to go... I'm gonna go into Meow. This is definitely a very bulky Swampert, for sure. We're gonna go into Meow. I'm not gonna overthink it. Weezing will probably have to come in afterward, but I'm okay with that. Because even if it's Rocky Helmet, I can work around that. Earthquake, okay. Yeah, glad I didn't overthink this. Okay, crit. It's whatever. We'll go for... We'll go for a knockoff here. There's no world where Swampert stays in. I would like to play around that. It's definitely Weezing or Zapdos that are coming in right now. Because frankly, with this sort of Ruin boost, this thing is taking way too much from any hit that I deal. So, we're pretty okay. I'm realizing now, I think I might have put the wrong ability on this, because I don't think I saw Sword of Ruin activate. Which will be interesting. Because I need to double check that now. I need to double check that. Because if I put Sniper on it, I need to not Quick Flower it, because otherwise it's going to activate. I need to get very creative if I did put the wrong ability on it. Because I put Sniper on accident, because I saw S and I saw Sniper. Okay, thank God I put Sword of Ruin. Okay, I'm not an idiot. Okay, cool. Yeah, we just go for Triple Axle here. Triple Axle should deal a ton of damage, especially with the Sword of Ruin boost. And frankly, my opponent doesn't have great switch-ins. Defog's gonna go off. Thankfully, we're a Dark type, so Prankster does not work on that. Which is another reason that is really good because we can avoid the burn with Wheezing too. Beautiful. Okay, Wheezing died. We will take that. That is actually really huge for us. Perfect. So, with Wheezing gone, actually, that is Boffin's best check to this. The Rotom will take a ton from knockoff. The Swampert will die to Flower Trick because we're Sword of Ruin. The Entei is... Okay, the Entei is the next best check for sure. And I will need to play around the Entei, but thankfully, I do have my Dondozo. And even if it's Solar Beam Entei, I'll address that right now. Even if it's Solar Beam Entei, that's fine. This mon really only honestly checks Entei at this point. So if it's Solar Beam, then that's not my counter anyway. It's Tusk. Well, not even Tusk. It's probably Hatterene. We'll have to see. We'll have to see either way. Papa comes in. Okay. That's going to be Entei. Okay, cool. So we do see it at least 6 rocks damage. That is good. And we see that it is Pixelate as well, which means that Dozo is my check to this, which is perfect. Okay, cool. So this is probably going to go for E-Speed. I don't really mind that. I mean, Entei being gone means this is going to hurt more for sure. Not Entei, Heatran being gone. But it's still not the end of the world. It really isn't. The Dozo will take more than enough damage both from and to this opponent. So I'm okay with that. I can go for Yawn pretty immediately as my opponent will definitely switch. Like, yeah, this is dealing no damage. My opponent will switch. Let's see if we get a calc on that. Because this is probably actually a set that we can calc around. Let's see. Entei going for Pixelate versus Dondozo. It should be dealing around 100. So I think this is... Yeah, okay, this is banded. I think it's Jolly Band, but it is banned. Cool. We're gonna go for Yawn. Because whatever comes in, I can force it out. And that'll be really good for me. We're gonna see Swampert comes in. Okay, Swampert coming in is fine. This is actually a really fine turn for me. Because I can just go for Liquidation. And that's not gonna be a huge concern. I could also go for another Yawn. Oh, wait, shit! Oh, fuck! Sleep is banned. Fuck, 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 fuck. Oh, I gotta figure out what the fuck. Fuck. Let's see. Okay. I'm in. Let's figure out what he wants to do. For now, I'm just gonna click rest for the passive play. Just to... Okay, cool. So this got fixed at least. But it should not have had to get to that point. Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't want to take advantage of that turn because it's hitting me now that sleep was definitely banned. I'll have to figure that out after the game. Whatever happens with it happens. But yeah, I forgot about the sleep ban. We'll figure that out. That's a later problem. That said though, Zapdos came in. I think I have to just go into Tusk here. And if Boffin predicts with Hurricane, that's fine. Yeah, okay. That's kind of a problem. The Zapdos is now becoming a lot more of a problem, but maybe my Tusk can outpace. We'll have to see. It depends on how offensive the Zapdos is. Okay. We'll go for Ice Spinner at the very least. I know not having an immunity to this is going to be pretty grim, but I mean, I can't really switch around Zapdos. This thing just kind of claims my whole team. Okay, that's fine. Looking at this, I think my play is to go Lycanroc because... Actually, no, it's to go Meow. It's to go Meow. Actually, wait, it might be to go Hatterene. Hatterene actually would be a pretty decent option here. I could just go for Calm Mind and then Pain Split stuff. Yeah, we'll go for Calm Mind. Because this should actually take some pretty decent defensive hits from this team, thankfully. And it should also be really unresisted, too, if we're being honest. Yeah, okay, cool. We'll go for Calm Mind. And then we'll see what happens. Okay. I'm gonna guess that most likely Boffin's gonna click Zap Cannon here, which is fine. Because Boffin should know I'm Prankster at this point. Kind of wishing I bought screens. I almost did bring screens. Oh, Boffin switching. Oh, that might work out really well for me, actually. Depending on what comes in. Swampert comes in. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. This is a very fine mon to come in right now. Because Swampert thankfully lost a lot of its status moves. And I can just kind of go for Calm Mind. Well, actually, I don't know if I want to Calm Mind into this. I think, well, no. Yeah, my play would be to Calm Mind and then to... No, it'd be to go for Psychic Noise. There's no resistance. I'm just going to take my +1. Because any damage on this is good damage. It helps a lot with opening up, like, the Lycanroc and the Escarada later. For now, though, I just want to get off my damage. Most likely, Boffin's going to go for Knockoff here. Knockoff is fine. I don't entirely mind Knockoff going off. Oh, it's Earthquake. Okay, Earthquake is good, too. Yeah, this works out really well. That does okay damage, at least. Yeah, I mean, it's not great, but it is okay damage. We at least get our leftovers off, which is huge. And then I can go for a Draining Kiss now. Actually, no, I'm going to go for another Calm Mind. Because I could definitely Pain Split later. And then, at the very least, I can avoid this thing killing me, which will be huge. But I'd rather just make myself bulkier if possible. I mean, we took about 100 before leftovers. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Most likely, again, I'm gonna guess Boffin will pick Knockoff this turn. I'd be really shocked if he didn't. But that would, if anything, I think help me in this situation a bit more because I can get a little bit more damage off with Pain Split before I end up dying, which should work out well. Because Boffin can't let this take too much damage. So we'll go for the Calm Mind. Mostly in the off chance that Boffin like switched, it's pretty useful in that case. But again, not anticipating it. Flip turn. Okay, flip turn going off is actually probably. I know I said the leftovers was, but I think this might actually be the real best case. Entei going for E-Speed would be kind of grim, but it's not the worst case. Because at least Entei going for E-Speed. No, Friend comes in. Okay, that's Rotom. No, it's Corner Pawn. Okay, even better. Probably has Rocky Payload. Let's see. Yeah, it's Rocky Payload. Okay, cool. So we can field that at least. Yeah, I can just go for... I just go for Pain Split. At least get my damage off, you know. Beautiful. Okay, so that's some decent damage at least. I mean, Ivy Cudgel's gonna deal a lot, but not a ton I can do about that. Alright. So, yeah, we just go right into Meowscarada at this point. And then I think I literally just go for low kick into this. I should guarantee a kill, right? Like, I'm pretty confident I just guarantee a kill. Let me double check that. Let's see. Versus Ogerpon. Cornerstone. I'm going for low kick. Low kick should kill. Yeah, it should more than kill. Flower Check actually looks like I would have done more. Shit. That was probably a better click, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Low kick will still get the job done. This is definitely speed tying my Lycanroc. I would be very shocked if it isn't. Oh, withdraw here. That's fine. Hopefully it's into Entei. No, it's into Zapdos. Okay, Zapdos is fun. Wait, Zapdos? That works out really well. Oh, that's huge. That's huge damage right there. let's see. So this is not a defensive Zapdos, at least. It's really good to know. Because that low kick did way too much. Did way too much damage. I could go for triple axle, but I honestly think that knockoff will just kill. So I'm just gonna go for knockoff. Beautiful. Okay, cool. Zapdos is gone. That opens up a lot of my game. Because now at this point, now that Zapdos is gone, I can actually... I mean, Rotom is still going to be a concern for my Dozo, but I can play a lot less concern around it. So that'll be good. That'll be good. The Entei will also have to take more rocks damage, which is huge. I'll have to see if it actually kills my Masquerada. But that's the Entei. Okay, cool. It'll be kind of grim. I can't lie, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Yeah, I think I just go into Dozo here. I kind of just need to start burning through sleep turns, if we're being honest, because I need this Mono Wake. Well, actually, no, because I need to actually make the double into Masquerada here. Because there's no world where this Mon stays in, because Entei is the literal win con. Actually, no, I double into Lycanroc here. No, wait, it is Masquerada. It has to be Masquerada. Is it? I mean, if Rotom comes in, actually, I could just let... No, because I need this around for Entei, right? I think I have to just go into Lycanroc, and then... No, I final answer. I'm gonna go into Meow. If Boffin claims, I mean, honestly, I'm probably gonna get a forfeit loss to the sleep or to the attempted sleep anyway. Like, it is what it is. May as well. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, I'll have to add in something at the end if we do get the forfeit loss. I forgot about that. Tweedles comes in. Okay, let's Rotom. Cool. This works out well. Yeah, it's a free knockoff turn now. And we've seen that it is Hadron Engine, which is good to know. That is the final ability already revealed. Perfect. Okay, cool. I'm shocked that it isn't Levitate, but like that works out fine. Thankfully, Boffin doesn't know that we don't have Sucker Punch because we've not revealed a full moveset yet. Actually, we've revealed enough. Boffin probably knows that we don't have Sucker Punch. That said, though, knockoff is a pretty free click. I'm gonna click knockoff, and if Boffin's Scarfed, then that's fine. I have to own it. But it is what it is. If Boffin's Scarfed, I think Boffin just wins the game here. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Not really a ton I could do about Scarf at this point. Not with the mons that I have dead. That said, though, if Boffin is not Scarfed, then I think we might actually be good. Because I think I can unironically just start switching aggressively around Entei. Or I don't even know if I need to be honest. The Fire, Water, Grass trio, Dondozo might actually be able to wall. Voltage, okay, it is Scarf. It does not deal enough, though. So something's going to have to take a knockoff. And it's probably going to be Pert, which actually means that my Lycanroc might open up the game a lot more. Because a Cellrock can probably deal some decent damage to that Rotom. Whatever comes in here, though, has to take a lot. And if it's the Entei, then I'm good. The Ogre Pond comes in. Okay. Albeit, that was definitely Boffin's best sack, for sure. It is unfortunate, though, because I would have liked to kill anything else. Okay, cool. Corner Pond is dead. Okay. So, Rotom, Swampert, Entei. Meow is definitely my win con at this point. Well, actually, no, not Meow. I think Lycanroc has to be. But I need Rotom to take more rocks damage, unfortunately. Which sucks. Tweedles comes in. Okay, cool. That is the Rotom. Damn. I'm in a pretty grim situation right now. Because I think I might lose. I think I might raw lose here. Because... Actually, no. Because I guess Dozo could, in theory, stall at the Pert. Then I have to let this go down. Yeah, I have to let this go down. I have to click knockoff again. Thunderbolt. Yeah, that's going to kill. Cool. Okay. Rotom kills. That's fine. Alright. Cool. We're going to see what we can do here. I mean, the Lycanroc, maybe Technician Cellrock can kill. Maybe it can kill. We'll have to see. I don't know why I'm calculating this out. It kind of has to be my play. It doesn't look like it kills, though. It doesn't look like it does even close to enough. And Rotom with Hadron Engine should definitely be killing me, right? Yeah, it should, like, basically be a guarantee KO. Maybe we crit. I mean, if we crit, we win. We'll just have to see. Oh, Rotom withdraws. That's kind of fun. Okay, cool. Let's see. I mean, this is definitely clicking flip turn here. I think I have to just play rough and just kind of hope, because I don't really have a great switch in. If I flip turn, I'm losing Dozo and then I'm losing to Entei endgame. So I kind of just need to take that and hope that I can crit through. If Boffin goes for EQ, that's also a very fine play. I can't do much about it. Play F goes off. Cool. Okay. Flip turn. Okay. Can I live? I barely live. Okay. So if Entei comes in, I can go hard Dozo, because thankfully it is dead momentum. If the Rotom comes in, I have to Accel Rock and I have to hope for a crit. That is my plan. And if I get that crit, then I win. Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, so we gotta go into Dozer here. We've gotta go into Dozer here. Okay, cool. Let's see. So Tablet's Ruin, obviously. I mean, it's gonna weaken into his attack. Whatever. That's fine. E-Speed goes off. Cool. I will say, actually, there's a little bit of a catch here. Because I'm pretty sure that Dozo will wake up if, with the terrain. So going for liquidation, I might actually, in theory, be fine. Cool. So Boffin is giving us these turns. It's perfectly okay. I think my play is on air, ironically. Hold on. I need to really look into this. Do Pokemon asleep already wake up in electric terrain? Already asleep, do not wake up. Okay, cool. Good to know, because that means that my play is liquidation then. Which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're just gonna go for liquidation. We're gonna kill the Entei. And then again, we just need a Accel Rock crit. A Accel Rock crit into CC, I think, might be enough. But we'll have to see. Lycan Rock at the very bare minimum, though. You're doing your job. Lycan Rock. Who knows? Maybe Boffin will just switch into Rotom now. Like, hard Rotom. I mean, there's no reason to. There's like, literally -2 reason to. But we'll have to see. Cool, okay. Yeah, I could have, in theory, I could have rested a ton, but I don't think it's really worth it. If we're being honest, like I think I lose anyway, so I'm not gonna go for it. But yeah, okay. Tweedles comes in, that's fine. Okay, enough Rock Chip. We're gonna hope, again, a crit could do it. And it's actually now perfectly in range of a crit. So we'll have to see. We'll just have to see. That said, though, I think the Swampert might still be good. The Swampert actually should still definitely be good. Okay, yeah. We'll have to see, I mean, player actually did quite a bit to Swampert. So maybe a CC crit could do it as well. Either way, we're gonna go for Accel Rock and hope for a crit. Do we get a crit? Nope, not a crit. Okay, GG. It is what it is. Honestly, like if we're being completely honest, I deserve the win. I wish that I didn't click the yawn. I wish I didn't put it on my moveset, because I would have been able to have my Dozo alive and get a little more pressure up. I think it would have helped. But again, it is what it is. I'm not gonna try and BM Boffin off of something I shouldn't have had in my moveset. So good game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe for more. We'll take on, I believe, Shoggle week 5. I want to say it's Shuckle week 5. No, Seabed week 5 into Shuckle week 6. Okay, perfect. So we'll see you guys then. Until then, peace out, guys.